Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome to episode 70 of TekTopia, where today I have one goal in mind, and that is to create a boom. But not just any boom, a population boom of our village here. I would like to get today 20 more villagers all in one episode, which may not seem like a lot admittedly, but when you think about it with the numbers we have at the moment, which in total is 68 villagers altogether, bearing in mind 20 of them are now guards, that's actually going to be really good for the village economy and efficiency, because all 20 of those village professions are going to be basically not guards, and now we getting ourselves resources and other stuff for the villagers to actually use. So the first thing we are going to do here is have a look around the village and just sort of see what professions we want to add on to. So I'm going to look around the farming department, the mining department, the lumberjack department, the druid department, and basically everything else that we can actually get more villagers in. Obviously there's some exceptions to that matter, with an example of guards, or not guards, sorry, chefs. Those guys over there. There's only so many chefs we can actually have in the village at the moment because we only have so many spaces in a kitchen. So with the exception of villagers like that, I'm just going to kind of browse around and see what we're missing out on. I've had a wander around the village and also a look in our storage room, and I think the main villagers I would like to get today is 1, miners, 2, druids, and then the third one is basically everything else. So that's ranchers, farmers, clerics is also something we're fairly short on. I think we're full up on blacksmiths, but yeah, I may make a bit of a more selected list later on and more definite, but for right now that's just my general idea. But before we do that, I need to get out my TekTopia book here, which is actually just a normal vanilla book, but with the addition of the TekTopia information mod, this thing right here, we can have a look at the village in more detail. So if I go to homes here, you can see in total we have 80 beds, but only 68 residents, which means we have room for 12 more villagers, which is not 20, if you can believe it or not. So that means we're going to have to get ourselves 8 more beds, which is actually what I have planned already. So there are 3 homes which we're going to be crafting today, or building today may be the correct term, and I think to begin with here, we're going to do the largest of the 3. And those 3 builds are all going to be going over here on this spot, which is pretty open, and it's actually basically the only open spot on this island here in Eriduin. And once we have all of this filled out, that'll basically be this entire area all done as far as construction is concerned, which is pretty cool. So we'll be able to see what this whole island area looks like once all of the buildings are up at the end of today's episode. So the big one is going to be going somewhere here. I'm not exactly sure yet, but whilst I do that building, I need to do 2 things. 1, keep an eye out for hearts, because I believe I don't have 20 in total. I'm actually really short. I'm pretty sure we can have a look here. This is my village chest. Yes, as you can see, I only have 3, so I need to get 17 hearts over the course of today's episode, and also do a bit of trading, because this is all of the emeralds I have. And obviously, if we want to get 20 more professions, and also 3 more house icons, we got a lot of trading to do. So whilst I build the house, and in between clips, I'm going to be doing all of that off camera. One house down, 2 more to go, which we are not going to be getting to just yet. We'll be doing them in a little bit. One is going to go behind me here, kind of dangling off the cliff and built on multiple levels, which should be pretty cool. And the other is going to be going on this flattish surface up here, which we'll probably need to smooth out a little bit because it is quite messy around here. But yeah, this is going to become a 4-person home. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, same with all the houses, right? They're getting a bit samey nowadays, and I don't think that's necessarily a problem. Houses in villages tend to look the same, so I think really it's a good thing, but don't need to show you around pretty much is all I'm saying. So yeah, this is ready to become a 4-person home when we buy the token, which isn't going to be just yet, because I'm going to buy everything in one go this episode, and it's going to be expensive. Let me walk you through it here. I now have a bit more of a substantial plan for everything I would like to buy today, so I've laid it out here nicely on the signs for us to have a read of. So to begin with here, the villager professions, we need 4 druids, 4 miners and 4 farmers, then 2 ranchers, 2 butchers and 2 clerics, and then a single lumberjack and enchanter. That in itself is already extremely expensive, but then we also have some additional costs down here of the 4-person home, the 2-person home, and then another 2-person home that we'll get to building later on, for a grand total of 618 emeralds, which equates to just over a stack of emerald blocks. Not just normal emerald blocks. That is so many. I need to get like 9.5 stacks of emeralds, and considering I only have 27 still at the moment, it's going to take me a while to get. So this episode is probably going to be recorded over the space of a couple of days, I would imagine. And I may also have to acquire the help of Starchy on top of the crow's nest and the merchant ships, and also possibly from other villages, because if I only use the items we get from this village here, Eriduine, I genuinely don't know if I'll get this episode done in time. So yeah, I may have to take a trip back and nab some items from older villages to trade with. Speaking of stealing from older villages, I'm actually gonna do some of that right now, and not for items to sell to the merchant, but for actually broken pieces of armor for our guards, because like half of them aren't fully equipped and they're taking lots of damage from mobs, and yeah, I don't really want to craft it myself because it breaks super duper quickly. But there's a ton of like ever so slightly used pieces of armor in the older villages that don't get used anymore by those guys, so I'm just going to take them and repurpose them for our guards over here, and I'm just going to use the ones in Olorindor, so Mecklen's Vale and the Undergrowth. Thank you for the salute, very kind of you. This place is sort of in shambles. As you can see, some of the ice is frozen here, and I don't exactly know why that is, but all of the crops have been damaged, and yeah, actually it's not really in shambles. That's a bit harsh of me to say. It's just really the crop thing. This always was a bit of an issue. There's more ice over here. How is this happening? Oh, it's the Frostwalker thing. One of the guards probably have Frostwalker boots on, and they, for some reason, just permanently freeze the ice. But yeah, I am back here, and we want to take a look around the storage room. It's been a while since I've shown the Undergrowth on camera. This is our last village we did, in case you've never seen it. It's in the middle of a ravine. It's pretty cool. It's meant to be a dwarven theme, but yeah, there aren't actually that many items in the Undergrowth. I'm probably going to have to go back to Mecklen's Vale for all of it. Now, I'm not going to take this stuff just because that seems a bit too cheaty. I'm looking for, I guess that could work, but more specifically, come on, there's got to be an example around here somewhere. Sort of stuff like this that gets partially used, and then they find a better replacement and just leave this in the chest and never use it again. I'm looking for that sort of thing. Here we go. That's a good example. This is the type of stuff I'm looking for. There is absolutely loads of this in Mecklen's Vale. Oh, buddy, I have hit the jackpot here. Look at all of that gear, which still probably isn't enough to fully equip all of our guards, but it is very good nonetheless. I've also grabbed some swords and that because, well, they need swords as well, probably. And I should also mention, you cannot sell any of those items. They will literally just sit in the chest forever because the villagers don't need them, the merchant won't take them, so it's either that or I make use of them, so I think that's the better option. Hopefully you guys don't mind me doing doing this because I genuinely do not. You know, I made these villages. These are technically still my items, so I don't think it's any harm in doing some inter-village trading, shall we say. But yeah, I've got all of this. Time to head back to Eriduin. And all of these items can go inside of the chest here for our guards, who is making a great example right now. Way to go, David, picking up all the suit of armor. Thank you very much. And a salute. It's as though he can hear me. Yeah, there we go. He's picking it up and putting it on. Awesome. Okay, glad they're using it. I was a little bit worried they weren't for some reason, but they are. So that's suiting our guards up a little bit more, which is very nice. L'Oreale here is coming to get a helmet, I would assume. Maybe, or a sword. I think she's getting a better sword. That's awesome. Okay, so I have a little something I would like to do before we start work on another home over there. And that is to have a look at a little something to do with our butchers over here. And I think it's actually going to happen right now. I need to be quick. I have to explain on the way. But I've actually never seen the butchers use the hobbit hole type thing we have here. And I just want to make sure they're actually using it. By the looks of it, they are. Okay, are you going to cut the pig's head off? And do the... No, I ruined it. Oh, okay, I really ruined that. Let's just get rid of this guy. My bad, sorry about that. Kind of ruined your day. But I had a theory. Obviously, I've disproven it now. But I thought, oh, maybe it was just time to go to bed. That's why you just abandoned the pig. It was probably me who got in the way. But I had a theory that because some of these animal pens were, like, technically in the same sort of area as the butcher's building, and they were sort of like, they're directly above it, basically, right? I thought that the butchers would just still come in here anyway and slice without actually taking them anywhere, but I guess that's not the case. So really, I've learned nothing new and everything is happening to the normal thing that it should be, which is good. I'd rather they actually use this building than just ignored it entirely, but yeah, that's genuinely the first time I've seen the butcher's building be used, and it obviously is the first time for you guys as well, because I honestly never showed this on camera once we built it in that episode. Oh my goodness, that is fear-inducing, seeing just all of the villagers run past the creeper. Imagine if creeper targeted villagers, that would be just terrible. I'm so glad it's only zombies. But yeah, we are now ready to start work on another two-person home, and something I will mention super quick. I will do something with this beacon later on in the episode, hopefully. I got some redstone ideas of things I can do to actually turn this off and on when I please. So yeah, we'll probably mess around with that later on, but for right now, as I said, we're going to do some building over there. Whilst we build this in the background, I would like to have a quick time-lapse chat with you guys, because I feel like I haven't done one of these in a little while, and today I have two things to say. The first one is, if you are watching this on the 26th of December, 2020, the release date of this video, then I hope you had a good Christmas yesterday, and if you don't celebrate it, then I hope you just had a good day nonetheless, and you are happy. I don't know how my Christmas went because I'm recording this beforehand and I can't see into the future. Hopefully it was good. I'm sure it was. I absolutely love Christmas. I adore the holidays, so I probably had a wonderful time with my family. But the main thing I want to talk about is, because this is the last episode of mine in 2020, I'm going to have a tutorial coming out next week, but that isn't really an episode and doesn't seem like the right place to say what I'm going to say here, which is just a massive thank you to all of you. The channel has done so well this year, and everything else this year has been rubbish. Everything. The channel, mine channel, was the only good thing this year. Just kidding. Obviously, there's been tons of good things that's happened, but it has been quite bad overall. But not for my channel. It's been really good. There's been so much growth. We started out the year at just 2,000 subscribers, and now we're sitting at 40,000+ of you, which is just crazy. And yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to every single one of you, even if you've only seen like one video of mine or if you've watched every single one. Thank you so much. It's massively appreciated. I just appreciate it so much. I can't quite put into words. I love doing this. I love making videos for you guys. I just love making videos, and the fact anybody watches them warms my heart. But the fact so many of you do and actually enjoy it warms even more. So just a massive thank you for an incredible year. I cannot wait to just continue what we're doing. 2021 will probably be similar for me. I'm not really one for New Year's resolutions, and I don't plan on changing anything up with the channel just yet. So yeah, we'll just move forward and continue doing what we're doing, and hopefully you guys still continue to enjoy it, because I can pretty much guarantee you that I will as well. And yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you. You guys are amazing, and the apport, I've lost the ability to speak. I've done this clip so many times, I'm just going to keep that in. The support is ginormously appreciated. Thank you. We have a slight problem, potentially. I've just rendered out the footage you've seen there of this house being built up, and I had a quick glance over at the merchant ship behind me, and I couldn't see Starchy, our regular vanilla villager. Now, sometimes replay mod doesn't load in entities like flowers. Sometimes in flower pots, you've probably been seeing lots of empty ones of those today. And also villagers, vanilla villagers, happens quite a lot in my survival series, I find. So it could be an issue there, or he's somehow been eaten by a zombie. So I figured we'd fly over and just kind of see it happen live, whichever the answer is. I can't see him. Why can't I see him? I might be too far away. Oh, there he is. Okay, that was worrying. Oh, he's still here. Hello, Starchy. That would have been a really poor time for you to leave this place because I need as many emeralds as I can get today. Oh, man. Good to have you still here, Starchy. You haven't fallen through the hole. You haven't just disappeared into another dimension, nor have you been eaten alive, so that is great. Anyway, let's fly back to the house and have a quick look on the inside because I couldn't really fit the replay mod camera in there. It's awfully cramped, but there's not a whole lot going on. This is pretty much it, but it's nice and cute and cozy, and I think it looks pretty good being on multiple levels like this, kind of just going over all of the different blocks on the cliff edge. It's not really a cliff, is it? But the edge of the shore here, I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, nice little two-person home, all done. Hello, merchant. I am here to do some trading and also to catch the people up on how we're doing with the emerald situation. So today I'm coming to sell you baked potatoes, some wool and some wheat. And no, that is not me cheating, trying to sell paper as wheat or wool or potatoes. You can actually just use the first slot here to trade any of the items that you can see he's offering. So yeah, in case you didn't know that, you don't actually have to cycle through to each individual one. But yeah, let me tell you what the tally is at the moment. It's not that impressive. That's basically the only trading I've done apart from one other time. So we're only up to 2 stacks at the moment, but my plan is to basically get all the building done today and then just do a whole bunch of waiting and just, yeah, lots of AFKing and trading and waiting. More waiting. But I thought what we would do now, instead of building the third and final home over there, is actually do something related to the beacon here. And that originates from down here with what we did last episode. This is the old non-working underground tree farm that we converted. I still haven't fixed this monstrosity. I will at some point, maybe. But yeah, we converted the old non-functional underground tree farm into a beautiful shrine room, which is around here somewhere. We got to get all the way down to y equals 11. But as you can see, this is what we built last episode. Not the entire room, that was already here, hence why you can see the mural, which I think I'm going to keep as somewhat of an homage to what was here before. We just redid the floor and added in these 4 things in the corner and the big old shrine in the center, which is where the beacon is, as you can see. Which I don't want on all the time because I think beacons look quite ugly unless you're building a symmetrical, like futuristic base, for example. I only want this on at certain intervals, sort of when I'm down here, and I got a ton of redstone help from all of you, so thank you very much. I'm going to have a fiddle around with it and see if I can come up with something that is much better than just having it on all the time or flicking it on and off with a lever. I'll fiddle around and see if I can come up with anything, but what I do want to just talk about is the name of this thing, because I've sort of just been calling it the shrine room or the shrine, and while that's okay, I think we could do a bit better, which is actually what we've done. I had so many good ideas from all of you, but one in particular stood out from Lucy, who suggested the passage. And just on its own, without an explanation, I think sounds great. But basically the idea from Lucy was it's sort of like the journey through life, through death, to the afterlife. And that on its own is pretty cool, but I think with the addition of the particles here, it's almost as though that is what's happening. Like this is the tunnel to the afterlife, and that's it right there. If that's what the afterlife looks like, in case you didn't know, maybe something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah. Whether it's we call the shrine the passage or just this whole sort of situation with what's going on, I'm not sure, but yeah, I just think that sounds awesome. So yeah, the passage in the shrine room, maybe we'll say. Whether I remember that or not is a whole different story. We make so much lore for all of the villages here, I tend to forget it. But yeah, thank you, Lucy. The passage is a great name for everything going on down here. The beacon has now been redstone-ified, and as you can see, it's currently turned off, which is a good thing because we can now turn it on by placing stuff inside of this hopper. But before I show you in action, I do just want to say a massive thank you to Leah, who is a wonderful subscriber of mine and also one of my Twitch moderators. So thank you for helping moderate, Leah, and also thank you for your redstone help. Your idea was super simple, something I could comprehend, and yeah, didn't take long at all and works like a charm. So let me show you it without going into all of the redstone bits. So say this stone is an offering to the dead, maybe to the deceased, and we throw it in here into the hopper. You can hear a piston. And there's the beacon. You can also hear a dropper, which isn't really ideal, but I kind of need it there. I'll explain in a second, but if we stand back here, you can see the beacon stays on for a certain duration of time, depending on how many items we actually throw in there. So if I had to throw in a whole stack, it would have been about twice the length. So yeah, that's awesome. So I don't really know what this is for. The beacon is kind of pointless down there, to be honest, but I do think it's a pretty cool device inside of this shrine. So let me show you how this is actually working in case you are curious. Please don't be a creeper. I think I'm good. It's pretty bright down here. But basically, this is a hopper chain going down from the one on top of the surface there. We just needed to bring it directly down to all of the redstone down here where the beacon actually is. So the comparator detects when there's an item inside of here. As you can see, well, you can't really see that, but it flashes on and makes the piston extend. It probably needs more than one item actually. To actually extend because it goes instantly into the dropper. But yeah, when there's stuff in the we might as well throw torches, they're not expensive, we'll just chuck them in there. So as you can see, the comparator is now on. I'm actually getting them back, that's great. And pushes the piston into the beacon, and that's actually activated. You'll just have to take my word for it, and when it's done it retracts like so. And the dropper is here just to get the items out of this final hopper here, because obviously if they just stay in there, the beacon will be on forever. We need it to go eventually, so all of the items that get dropped into here just end up being burnt into lava, and this is just a dropper clock to make it auto dispense whenever there's an item inside, as you can see, like that. So yeah, whatever we choose to put in here, I don't know what it's going to be, but it has to be something that isn't too pricey because it's going to be getting destroyed and we need like a large quantity of it. So yeah, any ideas of what we could do with this? Maybe every time a villager dies, we have an offering and light up the beacon. I think that could be something pretty cool. So yeah, we need an item that we can throw inside of here that isn't going to be painful to watch just get dispensed into lava. The episode is getting on a little bit here, and we still haven't got a single villager. I know I said we were probably going to do it all at the end, but still, we should probably fast forward and try and get to that situation ASAP, which is why we're going to very quickly build a house on top of this hill. It's now the next day in real life for me, and that's not because this house took an awful lot of time to build. It actually took virtually no time at all. I'll just quickly show the inside to you guys because you didn't see that in the time lapse. But it's been a long while since the last clip because I have been doing the lots of waiting, the lots of AFKing, the lots of trading, and we now have enough emeralds and hearts to spawn in all of those children and hand them out professions when they grow up. The moon has risen and it's very dark in the village right now, so I need to go to bed soon before bad things start happening. But before I do that, I would just like to show you guys the grand total of emeralds we have, which is whatever this number is. I don't know exactly, but it's over 10 stacks, which is plenty. That's actually quick maths. That is 654 emeralds, I believe. So yeah, we have more than enough to pay for everything we want to over here, which we'll go do in the morning. But I should also just say we have enough hearts here to spawn in all of the children. I think this is 21 in total, so we have an extra one here for whatever we need it for in a future episode. These spawn in quite a lot. It's not really a problem because yeah, the village is very happy, so I can basically just go round of a morning time and pick a whole bunch up. I'm double fisting some emeralds here because I am ready to go on a spending spree. Hello architect, hello tradesman. I think the first one I'm going to buy from is the architect because that has the least amount of icons, so hopefully the prices don't reduce or get increased, I should say, once we do this because it's such a little total we're buying here. So yeah, we need 1 4-person home and then 2 2-person home. I'm trying to remember everything we want to buy so I can do it all here in one clip because I think it's going to be really satisfying just seeing all of the emeralds I've worked hard for disappear in a weird way. So what do we need? Let's just cycle through these. I wanted 4 miners, so let's get ourselves 1, 2, 3, and then need a little bit extra to get the 4th one there. We didn't need any captains because you can only have 1 captain in a village, I think. I wanted 2 butchers, really hoping I don't make a mistake here. Fingers crossed I don't. I suppose it wouldn't be the end of the world. I wanted 2 clerics, if I'm not mistaken, so let's get 1 and then another one right there. Hopefully I'm doing good so far. I believe it was just a single lumberjack that I wanted. Farmer, I think we wanted 4 of those, so let's get 1, 2, you guys getting bored yet? 3, and then 4. We're nearly out, we're getting low, but we wanted 1 enchanter, same with the lumberjack, so let's just get a single one of them. I'm running out of inventory space here. Don't need any more guards, don't need any more blacksmiths, don't need a teacher, don't need a bard. Rancher, I think we wanted 2 of them, correct? So there's 1 and 2, and I don't know. Oh yeah, 4 more druids. That's why I have so many left. I was thinking, hang on a second, I've got a lot of emeralds here, but I'm running out of space. Yeah, the druids are expensive, and we wanted 4 of them just because they are super helpful in the village for basically every... It just makes every profession easier. They replenish the mines, they help grow the trees, they help grow the crops, and just all round a great villager. So that's what, 18, 20. Yep. That's all of them. Wow, that was a lot of emeralds, and we still have a stack and a half to spare. Awesome. And there is the final home icon. All of the beds are yellow, and I quickly just want to make sure we have 20 spare beds, which if we go to homes, you can see 88 total beds and 68 total residents. So yes, that is 20 in total. Here's something that should make for an interesting clip and or thumbnail potentially. We're going to try and spawn in all 17 of these children. I've got 17 here on the hotbar. I can't quite fit in all... Oh, 16, sorry. I can't count apparently. We're going to spawn 16 children all in at once and try and get this kid explosion. You know, they all like pop out and spread about once they're spawned in on the bed here. So... yeah, here we go. I'm gonna try not to mess up as we do this, so yeah, let's begin placing them. Here we go. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. That would be bad. It went wrong, but we're still going. We're still going. Oh, we nearly got all 16. I was really concentrating then, trying to get them all done in time, but then they spread and I clicked on one and it slowed me down. But yeah, there go. 20 children. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. This is crazy. I need to take a look at myself. Oh man, you guys are skipping away. Where are you going? Just walking around the village, having a good old time. Oh, I didn't really see how that looked, to be honest. I was a bit focused on the hotbar, trying to look at all the number keys, making sure I didn't misclick anything. But there we go. We now have 20 children all spawned in. One of them is walking and sitting at the same time. Goodness gracious, that was a little bit crazy. All that's really left to do is wait 5 days in-game for our children to grow up into nitwits, and then we can hand out all of their professions. And I think in the meantime, I'm just going to do some odd few things around the village, check everything is working as expected, maybe a little bit of resource gathering, that sort of stuff, and of course at the same time, making sure none of the children and any other of the villagers happen to perish in the night. I may even try AFKing really high in the sky so that mobs can't spawn, and see if the villagers actually continue to work. But yes, anyway, fast forward 5 days in game. It's now the 5th day, and it's actually over halfway through the day. The sun will be setting soon, and that's because I've spent the entire day so far handing out all of the tokens to our nitwits. And I've done 19 of them, but I just cannot find the 20th one. I have no idea where he or she happens to be. probably stuck on an end rod somewhere, I would imagine, but they are going to eventually become a druid, and once we've got that done, we will have 88 working villagers in Eriduin here, which is awesome. And I'm thinking, we may as well just go for the big 100, right? 12 more to go, we've come this far, we may as well just round it up to an even 100, like we have in Asteria. The Undergrowth and Mecklen's Vale don't even come close to that, I'm fairly certain. So that'll be something we do in an episode soon, but unfortunately everybody, that is going to do it for today. But we're not going to end things off just yet, because yeah, I gotta find this druid somewhere. Well, I found the nitwit, his name was Albert, and as you can see, this is where he was and what he was doing. I have no idea either, but he's now a druid, and hopefully he won't get stuck down there again. I need to do something about those trapdoors, but as you can see, we're going to end things off in the tavern here, which is absolutely brimming with 88 villagers, and now it's got none. It's just me and the bard. Well, this is incredibly sad. I'll root for you, bard. Woo! Yeah, great music. Everybody loves it, apparently. I think sometimes they just get bored of the tavern and don't really need to use it because they're already happy enough. Hence why it's so empty in here. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I really hope you did enjoy it, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.